a big welcome to this webinar on data-driven design for customer experience. Firstly, we wanted to thank you for showing an interest in this course and taking the time to attend this online session. This webinar is all about you and how this course can help you enhance your career and amplify your skills. Before we begin, I'd like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. This webinar is being recorded and you will receive a link to the recording in a follow-up email. You've all joined in listen-only mode. However, you do have the opportunity to submit questions by typing into the Q&A pane on the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation. We'll collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. Should you experience any technical difficulties, please let us know in the Q&A box and a member of the team will endeavour to help you. In the unlikely event that we experience any issues, we will send out a message and restart the webinar. The presentation should last around 45 minutes and we'll answer any questions submitted at the end. Also, at the end of the webinar, please do take a couple of moments to complete a short survey where you can raise any further questions or feedback. So the objectives of today, well, we'd really like you to leave here today informed, excited, and with complete insight into what your CX learning experience will be. So these are our agenda points. First of all, we'll give you a good introduction to the course itself, provide an overview of the content and structure, discuss the relevance of the course to you and your career, explore your online learning experience, and then tackle any of those additional questions that you might have for yourself. Finally, next steps will be discussed after that, and we will then look at also a few other questions that might have popped up. So, University of Cambridge Online. So what makes us different? Well, to begin with, all courses are developed and led by Cambridge academics. They are quality assessed by the Online Education Committee, consisting of senior Cambridge professors. And we also offer weekly webinars with our course academics. These interactive sessions allow for direct contact with our course leads, provide specialist tutor support with a low ratio of learners to tutors. We also have a world-class learning management system that provides the best learning experience. Upon successful completion, you'll receive a University of Cambridge Online certificate. We'll get to see an example of this in just a moment. Our learners are from more than 60 countries globally. And finally, we've received highly positive learner feedback. 98% of learners across 16 courses in our September 23 cohort raised their courses good or excellent. As mentioned earlier, upon completion, learners will earn a certificate of achievement directly from the University of Cambridge Online and signed directly from the Pro Vice Chancellor. You can post this on your social profile or list it on your CV or resume. An example of this can be seen on the screen now. Now, I'd like to introduce you to today's panel. First of all is myself. My name is Philip Perrin. I'm an enrollment advisor here at Cambridge Advance Online. We also have Professor Mohamed Zaki, our academic course lead for the Data-Driven Design for Customer Experience course. And also Irina Milona, she'll be joining us, not live, I'm afraid. She's done a very helpful video. She will go through some of the learning design later on at the webinar today. Introduce himself and the course.
Thanks, Phil. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Quick introduction about myself. My name is Mohamed Zaki, as been introduced by Phil. I'm the lead of this academic course. My current role in the University of Cambridge, I'm professor at the Institute of Manufacturing, which is part of the engineering department here. I'm also running a research center called Cambridge Service Alliance, which is a research center that bring together world's leading firms and academic to address digital service transformation challenges. Part of my academic role as well, I serve as a member of the editorial board of the Journal of Service Management as well, which is a leading journal in the service field. Start a little bit by background. I'm Egyptian originally. I began my journey in informatics, driven by deep passions for databases. That's led me to work in very big firms and brands in tech world, which is IBM and Oracle. I was eager as well to advance my expertise in business intelligence, machine learning, AI, as it's today now, and its applications in service sectors. So that's why I did my master and my PhD in University of Manchester here in the United Kingdom. After my graduation, I joined here Cambridge in 2013. I've been integral part of the center here, the Cambridge Service Alliance. Become now the senior leader, have a senior leadership role, as I mentioned before, which is running the research center, which is really I'm collaborating with a lot of senior researchers, junior researchers, but also as well a lot of firms and organizations to advance our knowledge in this area of digital service transformation. Since joining Cambridge and since as well my graduations, I've been focusing on this particular research, which is the topic of today. How can firms apply data and artificial intelligence to design and manage customer experiences better? But more important as well, how this can drive new data-driven business models as well. I've been publishing this work in over the last 11 years and intensively in top service management journals, presenting this in top conferences, but also as well summarizing this in practical outlets like Harvard Business Reviews as well. An example of one of the key papers of this course, which is called Customer Experience Challenges, bringing together digital, physical, and social realms. This has been received more than 1,000 citations in Google Scholars. This is in academic terms reflecting the significant impact of this paper. There's a lot of colleagues and other papers are citing this paper in general. Also through my career, I've been receiving a lot of numerous academic and industry awards in my contributions in this course or in this, if you like, topics, which is a data-driven customer experience transformation in general. I'm working a lot, as I mentioned, with a lot of businesses, doing research with them, but also as well, I do a lot of consultancy, lecturing as well, managed to do that for over than 50 organizations, including people who attended this course as well. As example like Manchester United, Manchester City, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, Cemex, Caterpillar, IKEA, HCL Tech, Buick, and many other as well companies in this field. Given my expertise in this field, I've been involved as well as a board advisors in many companies. Recently, I joined the board of Tactful AI, which is a startup here based in Cambridge, which is working in multi-channel customer engagement platform. I provide some strategic guidance to the executive team and the board members on the AI innovation strategy. Sorry, it's a quick introduction. Sorry, it's quite long introductions, but I thought just for you to know us more, and specifically me, who's leading this course. And a question now for you. Probably I would like to know more about you. So what is your professional background? So if you can answer that single question, where are you coming from in terms of functions and industry and what your specialty, that would be much appreciated in that poll. Great to see that the majority at the moment is more in the customer experience. So probably you see the answer now. We have management and executive, marketing roles, customer experience role, user experiences, technical roles, and product tech management. I can see now that 30% or more now is coming under this customer experience. I think the second category is more from the marketing role. And then I think the third category is coming from user experience and rest. I guess there are 7% as well, which is coming from the management and executive as well, which is very healthy. So thank you so much for sharing this. So that's real relief. This is at least that you are in the right webinar, which is discussing things relevant to you. Let me now go and switch a little bit about the course overview and why we decided to create that course in general. And I guess part of my passion is first of all about the research that I'm doing, and I'm trying to communicate and disseminate this to a lot of companies and junior professional and senior professional. And I've been working this as I mentioned with many established firms. So I reach out to Cambridge Advanced Online and I wanted to work with them in designing a great course in terms of how we can equip the new professionals in this new ways of understanding how we can create data-driven design for customer experience in general. And more importantly, how we can as well think about using the data to manage the experience, but more as well to create new data-driven business model. And I think the key points here that we wanted to discuss why now it is very important. I think the key things is we are living in an experience economy. And I guess more or less given that you are coming from customer experience and marketing professional more here in this webinar, you can see that there is a growing demand for exceptional customer experience, especially in the digital world that we live in at the moment. And I think brands need skilled professionals like yourself to design their future journeys and experience and to build the omni-channel as well experience, which is the consistency between the digital channel and the physical and also the social channels. Which is this course will discuss deeply as well with the frameworks and tools we've been developing with a lot of firms to make them really to design that consistent experience across the different channels you are introducing to your customers. And I think the second thing is actually we been seeing a lot of traditional tools and frameworks that practitioners and professionals are been using to design their future journey and experience, something like design thinking tools, journey mapping, emotion mapping as well, business model canvas, and etc. And I guess that was really fine in the previous era, but now we are living in a more fast pace enabled by digital and AI, and it is likely that firms now want to build the competitive advantages and trying to see different approaches where they can leverage these new capabilities to build that delightful experience for their customers. So in this course, this is a fresh new tools and frameworks that go beyond the traditional tool that you used to use in your firms or used to be educated to a lot of professionals. And I guess these tools and frameworks are still valuable, but I guess we need new ways of communicate and build and design new experiences and manage it as well to our customers. And that's a big part of the course as well. And then another big part of the course is it's about all the modules that we design in this course is actually now that's when we measure experience as well and track customer experience in real time, that needs going again beyond traditional metrics like net promoter score and overall satisfaction for people that coming from marketing and customer experience, they probably know these metrics which is being used to measure the experience. And we think this is a very simplistic way in the world that we're living at the moment to measure the experience and reporting to executive team about customer satisfaction and perception about services and products. And for people that are not familiar with these metrics is here in the webinar, this is like a survey metrics that coming to our inbox from all our service providers asking us either a question about how likely we can recommend these services to our friends and families, or when we rate a services from like a rating scale from 0 to 10 or 0 to 5, how quality was a service that has been provided by this company, and we give our perception there. But now in this course as well, we try to look at how we can leverage all the customer experience data that coming from the digital channel, physical channel, and social channels, and a way to combine these capabilities to enable machine learning and AI to predict better our customer behavior and perception, what they think and feel and we do when they engage with us. Given that companies as well investing in these technology, they would like to see and reap some benefits out of it. So not only building a loyal customers and customers who like to buy our services and products, but if there is a likelihood that we can understand our customers better to enable us to create new revenue streams for our firms, This is the core of this data-driven business model outcome that we try to build in this course. The course will be rich with a lot of industry case studies from business to business to consumers, public services, and will illustrate how it's been used, how they can use that omni-channel experience to design better services, how they leverage AI to manage experience better, how they create new business model as well as an outcome of their initiatives. But also there is something for you as well when you join this course. There will be a lot of discussion between your peers, and your as well your tutors. Me, I will appear for some of the live sessions as well, so we can have a very concrete discussions based on your experience and our experience. We will do a lot of practical exercises where we can where we can apply some of these frameworks and tools together, and also as well there will be as well assignments where you can really take all what you learn from this course and try to submit an assignments, and we will give you as well feedback as part of joining that course as well. Maybe now a couple of more questions. Hopefully this gives you a little bit overview about the course and why we design it and why we think it's quite important. So if you think about, how familiar, because I was talking a lot about omni-channel and how we can design a better experience, how familiar you are with this, that would be really valuable. And more importantly, now a lot of firms try to connect their digital channels and physical channels and social channels. And for people that are not familiar at all with the concept, this is where we will provide a lot of insights about how firms is doing this. For people that have some knowledge about this as well, we'll try to deep dive into these concepts and we'll see you concrete examples. But also as well, people that are very familiar with that concepts, hopefully our frameworks and tools that we've been developing over the years can shed some new insights and provide you with more deep into how to take your expertise and increase it as well in that course. I can see that some knowledge, which is 62%, is a dominance. I think the second is very familiar, and there are 14% which is not familiar as well here. Maybe another questions about the second part of the modules, which is more about how we can measure better experience. And the reason for this, when I designed that course, I was focusing about, how we can design our future experiences and journeys and etc. But more important, now we're capturing a lot of information and data from our customer, how as well we can leverage this to manage better our experience, go beyond metrics. But, great that I see most of you are familiar with concepts like Net Promoter Score and overall satisfaction. Probably in the course, we'll discuss more about how do you see it as a valuable ways or a metric that can enable your firms to understand the perception and behavior and attitude of your customers. And if not, what will be the suitable? And we provide some as well solutions for this, and solution not from a theoretical perspective, actually practical, and we did a lot of work with a lot of firms to help them to manage their experience better. I can see from your answer that 44% said yes, no said 39%. And there are 17% said not sure as well. And again, for people that in this webinar that are not sure what these metrics are a way to measure experiences better by asking these simple questions, whether we are recommending the service to our customers or our colleagues and friends, or actually we provide a better or we evaluate the experience and services to our customers as well. Okay, so let me discuss a little bit about the customer outcome, so the course outcome, sorry. And I guess here is the main outcome of the course, three main components, which is help you to design your future experiences with that concept of omni-channel, where we can connect our digital channels, physical channels, and social channels. I think there is a second part, which is to manage these omni-channel experience. So all these data will come out of it, how we can manage it better and just not relying on one metrics like survey metrics that coming to our inboxes from one time to another. but how to leverage this across attitudinal data, CRM data, customer service data, chatbots, and etc. together to build that 360 view of our customers. And then how we can go that and derive new business model opportunities. And the way we designed this course to achieve as well is through these 5 angles, where we will describe a lot of industrial trends where we articulate the latest examples about many firms from business to business, business to consumer, public services as well, and how they are shaping the next generation of services in digital era. Again, we deep dive into that concept of omni-channel. So this is the innovation part and customer experience and how we intersect and position our current services and current experiences across the digital, physical, and social. And if we're introducing new services or new ways of thinking about our experience, how this moving in terms of more focus about the digital than the physical and the social, or actually we are focusing more the physical than the digital and the social, and what that means in terms of creating our omni-channel strategy. Then we'll deep dive into the value creation elements of the customer journey. We'll deep dive into the CX management and how we can leverage AI, like what we discussed before. And more importantly as well, we discuss about data-driven business models. And probably I discussed a lot about the omnichannel experience from my discussions, and also as well building the journey and understand the challenges that we will have and how we manage experience using AI. But let me give you a couple of examples of what we mean about data-driven business models. So data-driven business model, our definitions is firms who leveraging data to create new business model opportunity or new revenue streams. And that's as well not to invest in AI just to improve the experience for their customers, but also as well generate revenue stream for their firms. An example of this, probably all of you heard about ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, which is for people who didn't hear about this, it's basically a chatbot which is produce a human-like interactions with us when we're asking a specific question, right? And this is an example of a data-driven business model. This company, which is called OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT, leverage all the public data on the internet and other property data to build this conversational interactions between human and the machine, which is assisted by AI, to enable get us accurate answer, but also at the same time human-like experience, right? So instead of us going to Google and try to search about something that we're looking for, now we have, if you like, an AI assistance where we're asking the questions and produce a human-like experience. And this human-like outcomes, text and videos and images now, it shows a company that not only produce a technical capabilities, obviously there is advanced technology on the back engine of ChatGPT, but the way they engage and interact, the machine interact with the human, with the experience focus, it shows how firms can provide a better experience using technology like AI, but at the same time as well create revenue streams. So probably, as you know, there are free versions, there are version for companies, which they pay as subscription services. Also as well, there are developer capabilities as well. So when you are leveraging these models in your AI services, you pay money for. That's for a startup world or for B2C example. There are another B2B examples for people coming from manufacturing and engineering. Probably don't know how many of you heard about asset-heavy firms like Caterpillar or GCP and Volvo Trucks as well. All these firms try as well leveraging data and machine data to understand when the machine will fail and to build something is called predictive maintenance. And this is to help the customers, in this case, for example, a construction company or a mining company who own a digger or a crusher in a quarry, to increase its uptime. And uptime here to make the machine works all the time, because all these companies works in a tight project deadlines. And as a Caterpillar to provide that services, or a GCP and Volvo, etc., to provide that services for their customers, to enable them to predict when the machine will fail, so they can send the technician to fix it quicker, send the parts quicker, That's make the machine all the time, if you like, up and running. And these are examples of data-driven business model, because again, Caterpillar and GCP take some as well money as well as an outcome of this. So there's new revenue streams coming from only selling these diggers and machine, but now selling that service or data-driven service and generate some revenue stream. It's quite important to add to the portfolio of their business models. So here is the two examples of, for example, the B2B and B2C, how they're using this to drive new business model capabilities. Now let me go to the assessment here. Probably you need a minimum grade here, as you expect from a course that will be designed and delivered to you through Cambridge University. So there is a 70% pass for the course. And this is coming from two elements here. One is your participation. We'd like, first of all, to engage with the course because it's an online course. So there is a lot of, if you like, role in you to read the contents, try to participate in some of the quizzes, some of the discussions that's happening in our, if you like, platform. And there is a 60% as well, which is related to a final projects and assignments. And the way we try to assess this through two outcomes that will be generated. In the first assessment will be after the fourth module, where you can leverage all the tools and frameworks you're being taught in the course to look into a new services that you try to improve by using these tools and frameworks. The second one will be after you finalize the course, which is the other four modules. Now you need to think about how you will manage this service or manage this experience, but also as well how you're going to create new business model opportunity. So this is all part of the assignments that you will do, and you'll be assessed through this. Obviously, we'll provide you feedback. If you have any questions, always there is tutor as well involved with me as well that help you all the times while you are taking that course in the 8 weeks that is designed for. Now, probably a question for you now. I've just been talking for a while. Given that you are already interested now in the course and you joined our webinar today, so probably the most logical questions, what you are most looking forward to achieve from this course I think the way we thought about it is whether you want to develop new skills for your current role, you would like to have some professional advancements, you want to do some career shifts, or it is one of your lifelong learnings. Very great to see that most of you in professional advancements, because that's what we try to achieve in this course. And also as well, some of you, the second, I think, order is coming between lifelong learnings and develop skill for your current role. Some of you in a career shift as well, so that you're trying to see different ways to try something new. So I think this is what we saw as well across different people that joined the course. And I guess our promise here is actually what we're trying to help you to equip yourself by the cutting edge skill that can help you to innovate your future role as well, by looking at customer experience innovations, AI integrations, and how we can develop new data-driven business models. We're sure this is going to open an opportunity for you, for demand like CX leader, digital transformation specialist, for people that want to shift as well, AI-driven customer engagement strategies, service design managers, marketers, and hopefully this can lead you to become and we need to see this role coming along a lot of time in a mini organization, which is chief experience officers across different industry. As I said, the course will not focus only in B2C, the focus about business to business as well, the focus about public services. That can help different people that coming from this industry. Hopefully by applying these advanced frameworks and methods, a new method that we developed by the Cambridge academics and us as well, and Cambridge Advanced Online, you will have a significant roles in your organization, help you as well to assess customer journey, innovate your customer experience across the digital, physical, social, and obviously create and using data as a key resource. For your skills, again, this is going to go beyond traditional tools, as I mentioned, and go beyond design thinking and journey mapping. And here you go deeper as well on how to use AI, data and AI either to design that digital, physical, or social, or as well manage the experience or create a business model. Also as well, we don't want to forget about your accessibility to a global community who is professionals. So you can see yourself here at, for example, you have a mix of industries, mix of roles, and this can help you as well to connect better with what is happening in B2B and B2C and public service. And that's giving you collaborations, hopefully a future collaborations with these people. This course as well, and Cambridge Advanced Online in general, build the LinkedIn social page for each course so you can keep connected as well after the course. Okay, so probably I will pass to Phil to give some statistics here about some of the learning feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohamed. Yeah, so just touching on some of the feedback that we've had, I've seen the first question in the Q&A pane just pop up as well. So this will give a little bit, but perhaps we can tackle a little bit more at the end. And just a reminder to everybody, if you do have any questions, feel free to post them in the Q&A pane at any time, and we'll tackle them at the end. But just on the screen now, you can see really positive feedback that we've had over the course of the course running. 93% of learners rated the course good or excellent in the two latest cohorts. 79% said they would recommend this course to a friend or colleague, and a stunning 100% rated the content as good or excellent. So a really solid showing from feedback that we've had, which shows us that hopefully we're doing the right thing and something hopefully you can look forward to in joining too. Now, on the screen, a couple of individual feedbacks from past participants. Again, perhaps we can elaborate a little bit more at the end on any others that Mohamed might be able to add to. But Andrew Gilligan here, a recent graduate, my understanding of customer experience and the opportunities to leverage data to improve or create new customer-centric business models has increased massively. The course has given me a lot more confidence to address CX topics that arise in my day-to-day work. Really great feedback and everything that we hope to achieve with people taking the course. And Paul Flannery, another recent graduate from the course, the interactive nature of the course was particularly appealing, and getting the opportunity to discuss ideas with people from different industries was very rewarding. Again, as Mohamed referenced within the assessment, we encourage people to take part in discussion forums each week, which will help you to reflect on the learning and give your feedback on your understanding, but also share your experiences with others in a similar situation, but from perhaps a very different background. Now we're going to hand over to Irina. As mentioned, she's not here live today, but she has recorded a really helpful video about the learning design and experience. So we're going to pass over to watch some of that now. I hope you enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Irina Mailovna, and I am the learning designer who worked with Mohamed to make this course come to life. There's a lot to say about the learning experience and how we designed this course, but there's only one thing that stands out for me, and that is the fact that our courses are built with you in mind, considering your learning aims alongside your busy schedule. We use the latest research in learning design methodology. What this means for you is that we ensure the course is a rigorous, high-quality learning experience, which equips you with actionable and transferable skills that you can then take forward into your personal or your professional contexts. Now, you might be wondering, how do we do that? Right? So let me walk you through it. First, we harness the power of active learning and practical application. What I mean by that is that you won't be left to read page after page of text or sit through lots of multiple videos and series of video lectures. Our courses blend new information with active tasks. For example, short activities that allow you to check your understanding. And then you're asked to apply this new knowledge in a real context and get feedback on your work. Our learning design team is both led and inspired by research. And one thing we know from immersing ourselves in research is that people learn as much from each other as they do from experts. So in our courses, including this one, we make use of social learning. Social learning can look like many things in a course, and particularly in this course, you will spot it in interactions like discussion boards or an interaction whiteboard tool called Miro. And we also have a social annotation tool called Hypothesis. All of this is monitored by our tutors, and these are the people who will be your guides through the entire experience. They facilitate and contribute to the in-course interactions, and what's even better is that they are also there to support you as you're going through the course. So, for example, if you're struggling with a concept or you need support with an assignment, you can just reach out to them via the Canvas inbox, which is our built-in messaging system. So, as I mentioned earlier, we build these courses with you and your busy schedule in mind. And you will notice that the majority of the material that you can work through the material in your own schedule, at your own the allotted time frame. And the choice to have most of the material presented in this way was made with you in mind, because as a professional learner with a busy schedule, we know your time is valuable and we want to craft experiences that fit around your workload. We also know that you want to learn from each other. You might also want to meet other like-minded individuals, meet your tutor, and of course, meet Mohammed. So to bring you all together, we have planned and designed weekly live sessions, and you will know when these sessions are to happen. So you can fit them around any other personal or professional commitments you might have. But from a learning design perspective, on the content, maybe take a deeper dive into a particular topic, or talk to other like-minded professionals. And I should also not forget to mention that these live sessions are recorded and they're posted on Canvas for you to watch again. And this is helpful because you might not be able to attend, or you might have something that you want to go back on and review. So that's helpful to have it there. All of these synchronous and asynchronous interactions are brought to life by Canvas, which is our best-in-class virtual learning environment. And through this video, you have been seeing snippets of content on Canvas, which are taken from a similar course in our portfolio. The learning design environment for this course will be very similar in terms of look and feel. What is important to say also about Canvas is that it provides a clear platform that is super easy to navigate. So through this seamless navigation, you can easily engage with content so that you have then more time to focus on learning and you spend less time on trying to find stuff. This creates an effective learning experience, and you can easily browse through different modules, and you can also track your progress via a progress bar. As far as content presentation is concerned, we have a number of different methods to create clear layouts. We include a balanced blend of text, imagery, interactive activities, and you can explore a variety of videos from the course lead as well. The combination of these tools means that the course is not just a case of reading complex chunks of text and then reading more articles, but instead it's an engaging process with you at the heart of it, driving every page in the journey. You can read text, you can then practice via interactions, you can watch videos and reflect on them, and then you can also, at the end of the module, bring it all together by testing and embedding your learning. I should also say Canvas allows you to populate your learner profile with images and bios, and you can also share your socials if you want to. And this enables you to grow your network and connect further with fellow participants if you want to. So With all that said and done, I just want to return to what I said at the start of this video, that our courses are built with you in mind. We want you to learn as much as possible, and we want you to succeed. And we build these experiences based on your goals. We keep updating them based on recent advances, and we keep refining them based on your feedback. So I hope this gave you an insight as to how this course aligns with your aims and your workload. And with that, I will conclude this learning design overview and hand back over to the team for more information.
So now you've got all this information, what are the next steps? Well, I would love to connect with anyone who has any further questions or wants to find a link on the screen to book an appointment. This link will be shared in a follow-up email after the webinar as well. But if you do want to take it down now, please do so. It does only take a few moments to schedule, and calls are usually under 15 minutes to get through everything that we should need to discuss. You can also contact me via email. Email is on the screen there for you, or go via our website, where you can contact us on our general email address. Course enrollment can be completed right online, where you can pay by card or request a quotation. Our next course is set to start on the 7th of October. Enrollment deadline is always 1 week before, so that'll be the 30th of September to be aware of. And we will have future dates of the course starting in the new year in 2025, in January and April as well. Now, if you haven't already, please do use the Q&A section to send in any of your questions. We'll go through and answer some of them now. So bear with me. Let's have a quick look. So let's start at the top. This question came in a little earlier in the presentation, but Mohamed, perhaps you can give a little bit more insight into any other feedback from participants in terms of how past students have applied their learning at work. Have anybody fed back to you after the course or even during the course, any projects that they were able to kind of relate to?
Yeah, thanks, Phil, and thanks for as well the question that you've been asked. Actually, we're quite proud that we saw some of the learners starting to use all the materials and frameworks that as well in their assignments, but actually it's a real challenges in their organization. And I think that's helped them in a couple of things. One, some of them took our feedback and incorporated that back in their portfolio and submitted this back to their managers and executive teams. We are proud that some of them got promoted actually, which is a great outcome, that we were very happy about this achievement when they send us back, some of the feedback about the course in general. Some of them help them to change roles. So for people that actually looking here to come to this course to change their roles, so they were using this again as a portfolio to enable them really to come in, to open some doors for them for new opportunities. And we saw different industry here as well. So we saw, coming from manufacturing, coming from retail, coming from fashion, public services as well. So it was really nice to see as well fresh ideas as well that coming from the people here. And I get back to Irina when she mentioned that people were learning from each other. So this is when they come into live sessions and they're discussing their challenges in their industry. We found some really insightful things came as well from the people that attended the course and the live sessions, and providers will think sometimes, like a therapy session, say, oh, we found this in our industry as well, and what we're trying to achieve, and what we try to do here is X and Y and Z and etc. So it's actually, hopefully, when you're joining that course, you're learning new things from us, but as well, you will learn a lot of things from your peers, what is happening in their industry that can benefit your current work, but also might help you as well your future work if you join a similar industry and etc. But also as well, more importantly, get a solid ground that enable you to get up to the ladders, help you in your daily work, or as well changing your career in the future and equip you in a skill that is needed. This is the way I see it. And this is what we hear a lot from the feedback that coming from a lot of people during that course.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Mohamed. Yeah, and something perhaps we touched on, but perhaps not too clearly. But a question here about prerequisites. So, what are the prerequisites or skills required to complete the assignment specifically?
In this course, there is no prerequisites. Probably this is advertised as well in the course, because basically we are hoping that we should in all the contents that is being rigorously being prepared between myself and the Cambridge Advanced Online and Irina, the learning advisor that you heard her. They've done a fantastic work to cover all the basics that you might need in this course. But also as well take you in a journey, in a very interactive journey in the Cambridge Advanced Online materials and the canvas itself into different contents. And again, the professionalism here with Cambridge Advanced Online, when they took the course and looked after it, they tried to build that kind of personalized experience as well. So some of you who likes more text, more going into deeper into papers, it's like also documents mentioned there. There are a lot of references, so you can go deeper as well if you wanted to go into the originality of the work that we've done in different publications. If some of you really interested in the video aspects, is there is a lot of video of myself, also as well some of the the videos that we've been chosen to use to get closer to the picture and simplify some of the complex, if you like, topics there. Also as well images, and so there is a lot of sensorial interactions will happen and help you across the course to make sure that you become competent about the topics that you are taking. Hence, we were really focusing about quizzes, discussions. We try to diverse to not just pull you only with the text only. So it makes as well hopefully engaging if you like, interactions between you and the platform and the contents from one module to another.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, good summary there, I think, to really help see that clearly. A question here, will the course cover any strategies for customer experience that cover qualitative and quantitative research insights? In my industry, there is a lot of focus on qualitative research, but decision makers often understand and trust. Can you help with that one?
Yeah, sure. This is again regular things that we see in a lot of established firms. Number is quite simple to communicate with executives about the performance of services and products that you are offering in your firm and your industry. And again, this is part of the traditional tools and framework that we've seen a lot of firms still using. So again, this has come back to my illustrations before, that this courses go beyond the traditional tools and frameworks. And an example of this is the Net Promoter Score I've been mentioning before. That's a quantitative number because again, it's a survey questions. You're asking your customers to understand their preferences, their feedback about a specific service. And you give an evaluation from 0 to 10 or 0 to 5 according to the design. But let's imagine that most of your customers, like 80% of them, give you 8 out of 10 for the service that they took from you or the product that they are using or they bought it from you. That's an easy communication. That's a figure that's easy to be communicated to executives to say, oh, all our customers are happy. Why we should do anything to improve our service and experience? But in the course, we deep dive in this and we're saying there's a lot of falsification on this number. A, for the ways that you are measuring this. Secondly, as well, we showed a lot of examples that from firms that some of the customers give 8 out of 10 in the quantitative questions, which is the attitudinal one. In the same survey, you could have a qualitative question, for example, which is you ask the customer how we can improve the services, give us suggestions to improve the service. And then the customer is starting to complain heavily about different incidents, different touch points. And if you are ignoring the qualitative answers that are coming from the customers and you just focus about the number he gives you or she gives you, that can lead into a and misleading the executives, because obviously they ignore all the complaints and the suggestions that come from customers, and we saw this a lot. Hence, in this course, we are really trying to give you more insights how systematically you can connect the quantitative numbers, if you like, the question that came from Net Promoter Score, or the result that came from the Net Promoter Score, or overall satisfaction, connecting this with technology like natural language processing, and how we can analyze the customer feedback in the qualitative aspects in a meaningful way to enable you to understand if there are issues and frictions that are happening to the customers, and how you analyze this. And thirdly, as well, not only the qualitative comments that are coming from the survey, you can think about customer service data, you can think about CRM data, you could think about behavioral data, which is the sales data. And the more you are connecting this data in a very rigorous way, the more 360 view you can give. So you're saying, oh yes, 80% of our customers give us an overall satisfaction, or they saying they can recommend us to a colleague or a friend, but still they have some issues, and we need to think about how we can improve these issues, because in the customer service, they are complaining a lot about this touch points and this touch points. They complain about these products and these services. They complain about our pricing strategy, what we can do to them. We have a segment of these customers that typically behave this way. They typically complain about this, and they typically, and others that typically complement us as well in this way. So what different strategies we can do to enable us really to to achieve a better experience for our services and customer journey, B as well, how we can manage it over the times, and if it needs some changes, how you communicate as a professional now to the top management with a very data-driven evidence that things needs to be done, and there is allocating resources has to be happening there. So this is clearly a big module in the course when we tap into all these different challenges, but also as well, we give you some insights and challenges and new methodologies, new tools and frameworks to help you to do so.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, and perhaps kind of expanding on that point, and to clarify slightly, I think anytime we talk about artificial intelligence, we're always going to talk about large data models and machine learning. But a question here about sharing one or two examples of cases that covered just to determine recency of this era where generative AI is growing so rapidly, whereas machine learning has already been around for some time. A couple of cases in the course where we actually use or explore artificial intelligence to support this.
Yeah, so yes, of course. So there is a couple of examples where we tap into, let's continue with the example of how we look into qualitative data that coming from chatbot interactions and customer service interaction. These are textual data, right? So when it comes to textual data, now we have new tools and capability like large language models, natural language processing techniques that can automatically classify these textual information into for example, you could think about what are the journey that customer is talking about, right? And using simple techniques like instructing this model to tell them these are textual, you are an expert as a customer service expert, for example, in this industry, try to classify this textual data about the journey that customer talks. And journey here could be, let's imagine, an automotive industry, just to simplify it. Is this about the sales, for example? Is this about the service that we provided? So this is when the customer drop the cars to our garages to do fixing issues. And that's again help the customer service specialist or the customer service that looks after to classify these comments quicker. But also as well try to help them as well how to answer the customer, right? Another key things here is if it is a complaint or a compliment or is an inquiry, is it a sales, for example, opportunity? And imagine I could now starting allocate the resources that I have as a company. Some of them are sales specialists, for example. They better communicate with the customer that inquiry some sales quicker, right? So if I have this capability on the back, trying to identify this quicker using large language model, which is quite accurate now to do so. That will be perfect. And I think moving into the emotional elements, because that's an experience course. And when we talk about experience, we talk about our emotional interactions with a brand. And typically I get some examples from Apple. That's a good example of a manufacturing company that managed to create a technology that based on experience, right? So, and even if you hear a lot of Steve Jobs, if you like interview, he always speaks about the importance of customer experience and interaction with their devices, and then applying the technology to enable this, right? So this is really the essence of this course. So again, how you build the emotional bond. So from a manufacturing company like, or a telephone or a computer manufacturing company like Apple, you have, if you like, a fan customers, right? Who sometimes go on travel to become the first in the queue to buy the product, or the first couple of products that they launched by this company. So the question is here, if we are a customer experience specialist in this room, how we can convert our organization from a traditional customer that might like our products today, and then if they don't like us or some failure happened, they can switch and churn automatically from our portfolio and go to our competitors, into converting them into a fan customers that all the time, even if there are some issues, because that's what we call it, a zone tolerance for the customers. We tolerate our brand because we love them. And if there are some issues and frictions that happening, I still like the brand and I'm not going to switch. So how you build that portfolio, and you can't build this without managing the experience better, using capability like data and AI. Generative AI now, a large language model, become big parts, and there is a lot of examples that we will discuss in details. We spoke about business to business as well, and how they can predict churn. So this is another applications of using AI. So if you connect this qualitative data and attitudinal data with behavioral data, with actual sales that you have with the customers, you can identify some behavioral that customer doesn't buy from you quite often. So here is, you need to intervene. And this is again, give that data-driven insights to your executive teams and yourself and your team as well, to help you to identify what will be the strategy that I tackle and address some of my customers that churning, what I can do to bring them back. If I have current issues, how can I design the experience better? How can I design this better? And all this give you that 360 CX view to enable you to deliver a better experience for your customer.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I'm aware we are running out of time quickly. I've got 3 questions that are left that perhaps I'll try and sum up into sort of one sort of answer as I can, best I can. One very simple here about how much time should be expected in terms of being dedicated to the course. So the way that we've designed the course is to allow a certain amount of flexibility. The built content is supposed to be around 6 hours each week, but we would recommend somewhere between 8 to 10 hours in terms of being realistic to working through that content, depending on your experience level as well. And everybody takes their time differently. So 8 to 10 hours is a realistic expectation, but those hours can be completed at your convenience each week. In terms of being a disadvantage if you don't already work in CX, no, I don't think you are necessarily at a disadvantage. I think perhaps there are advantages also by being in an environment where there are people already working in CX and a lot of shared insights from your peers. But most importantly, again, as Mohamed touched on, the way that the course has been designed is that those fundamentals of basics are included and will allow you to get some real good insight into an industry that perhaps if you're not already in and you're looking to get into, will really support that journey. And a question that perhaps reflects something that was mentioned early on about to what extent is the content of this course dependent on the cultural or technology capabilities of the organization you're already in? Well, That is always a challenge. However, the course isn't dependent on it itself. As with many of our other courses, what you'll work on, and in fact, the assignment that you complete in terms of the data-driven business model could even be taken forward as a proposal or a strategy document that could help you go forward and implement changes within your culture or the technology capabilities within your organization. But certainly individually, it's something that is going to support you with being able to approach conversations and new challenges, whether that's within your current organization or another one, to really help things go forward. So sorry for rushing those last few questions. We are coming towards the end of our time. So really just a big thank you for joining today's session. Our apologies if we didn't have the time to answer your questions or topics that we haven't been able to address. As a reminder, there'll be a short survey when you exit the webinar, which will give you the opportunity to ask a question if you haven't already. Please do take a couple of moments to provide us with some feedback. Look out for a follow-up email later this week. Thank you all so much, and have a lovely rest of the day.